So it's been another month. We're doing these once a month, and in the last AMA, we focused on predominantly development updates. And the AMA before that, however, we addressed a list of outstanding community questions which were posed. And we didn't get round to answering all of them. We've got a list of 75 questions. We answered about half of them last time. So we're going to go through primarily those outstanding questions that got posed by the community, and as well as some more questions that have come up since then. Again, we're not going to get through all of them because I think we've got about 40 outstanding questions, so we're probably not going to get through all of them in 1 hour. We'll do our best, and I think probably what we'll do with these AMAs is switch between the questions and updates, because actually we've got a lot of updates that we want to share with the community. But next month it will be the time to do that. We'll also have some comms going out in the meantime. Before we jump into the questions, though, we will give a quick status update on where we're at. So, for those of you who've seen the fireside chat that I did with Martin last week, we spoke about primarily the revenue streams and revenue streams going live, in particular around the launch of the advertising campaigns and the go live of the data platform. So that's still on track to go live beginning of August. The ad platform's been live for to accept registrations for the last 4 to 6 weeks, and the actual campaign management side of it, so advertisers will be able to register and actually submit campaigns, and those adverts will show on our search results and within the wider Timpi ecosystem, is going live beginning of August, and that obviously then signifies one of the major revenue streams. In addition to that, the data platform will be opening up to the public beginning of August. The data platform is live today, and we do have pilot customers on the data platform today, and we'll be continuing to onboard a few more pilot customers over the next couple of weeks. That's what we're learning through their engagement is invaluable, and there'll be a few more updates before we actually allow the consumers and customers and open up to everybody, which will be beginning of August. But essentially, the data platform is actually live today with our pilot customers, which has been great. So those are 2 major revenue streams that will be going live beginning of August. In addition to that, all happening at the same time, we've got a major release of the search engine and the SERP page. So yeah, do you want to give us a quick update on what is going to be in the next release of the search?
Nope. Yes, okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. That was it. So we have revamped our backend basically. So what we do now on the new SERP is that we have POIs, points of interest. We have maps. The point of interest is also with a small map underneath. We have our own large data source for news, which gets pulled constantly. I think we are already running something like 700,000 news articles that we already have collected. We're pulling those news articles from international news outlets. We have, at the moment, we are pulling from 7,000 news outlets. And that keeps our news database fresh. There are some, nice functions around the news. So as we show news internationally, that means not all of these news will be in English. So the headers will be dynamically translated into your language, into English initially, but later on you can set up your own language and then it will be dynamically translated. You can now set your location. So it doesn't matter if you come via VPN or not, or if you have a preferred city you would like to be in, then you can set your location. And if you then search for pizza or for whatever, coffee or supermarket or whatever it is, the POIs will then appear in your location. Unless you say pizza in Auckland, then it will obviously show pizzas in Auckland. The same is for news. So it will take your geolocation and you will see news from your region as long we have them for the topic that you ask for. If you just type in news, it will basically take your location and will show you the newest articles that we have in your location. We also have made the entire SERP page agent ready, and maybe Gareth can talk a little bit more about that. But agent ready means that we allow AI agents to utilize our index to get the information. So that's a really huge step forward when we look into the current development of AI agents and stuff like that, because most of the other engines basically block AI agents from doing anything, and we invite them. We worked on the advertisement platform. We have now workflows in place that allows us to identify the IAB categories, is it, I think, called? So that's the advertisement categories. We didn't have that in place before. So before it was always defaulting to automotive, I think. That's now in place. We also have completely changed the process, how we identify the intent with a workflow that is now behind it. We have changed how we identify entities, people, brands, and stuff like that. So we can fine tune our search queries, which we weren't able before. So before, you can say it was basically when you search for Donald Trump, as an example, it would search for Donald Trump, but it will also show Donald and Trump. So they need to be in one document, but they need not to be side by side. So now with the new entity detection workflow that we have put in place, we know that Donald Trump is, well, some might argue that is a person. And so we can basically now search or rank pages that have the name Donald Trump. We can rank those higher, which then increases the search quality. And that's the same with Coca-Cola, whatever, MediaMarkt here in Germany or whatever it is. It gives us way more accuracy with our search results. So that's all going to be released 1st of August, I think. Yeah. The new search, the new look and feel. It's not a new look and feel, but the new functionality. And that will also trickle over to the extension. I'm not entirely sure if the extension will be ready at the same point in time. Might be. We are still working on that, but the same functionality will also come into the extension.
Yeah, so a lot in the latest release, and as Jörg alluded to, it's all connected to the data as well. And so the main intel, the news, the point of interest, they're all accessible endpoints from the data offering. So we're enhancing the search, we're also enhancing the data offering at the same time. And just touching what you said around agentic, then Jörg, is that as we're opening up the search results to agentic traffic as well. Now they obviously have their own view. They just want a JSON view basically. So we're providing that to them. That's going to entice a lot of agentic traffic. There will be limits as to what they can access in terms of the data points and limits and rate limited. But if they want more, then they can come into the data services platform and sign up for a subscription. So it actually works as really nice demonstration of our data offering, as well as a lead in to paid subscription services. So we can go on for long about it, and I think we'll do more about go into more detail in the next AMA, because by the time we hit the next AMA, all of this will be live, and so people will be able to actually see it as we're talking about it, and I think we can it'll be good to go into things in more detail. All right, I've not looked over the list that we've got here, but Jörg, should we just crack on with answering some questions? Have you got one that you've seen that you want to answer? I'm going to have a quick look now.
Yeah, you are putting me at the spot here. Yes, I did have a look. Now I need to find it again. Oh no. Start at the top. I will find another one. You can take question 11. I think you published already, there's already a publication about that, if I'm not mistaken.
Question 11. What would be the ratio between search engine income kept by the company versus income used for Timpi buybacks, and how will this be transparently reported? Yeah, so we released an article around the buyback. You can see that on our blog on timpi.io for more details. Essentially, the buyback mechanism is 15% of the advertising revenue, and when that pool hits 50K, then that's distributed into the market, not all in one go. It will be distributed in a way to not cause major spikes and to sustain growth. So at the right buying points, depending on the daily trades. If that makes sense. I think you get what I'm trying to say. In terms of transparency, yes, there will be a dashboard, and we will be transparent about what is in that pool and how that's growing.
Perfect.
Yeah, and so it won't be monthly or quarterly. It's just going to be when that that 50K threshold is hit.
Question 13. When do we anticipate dropping the APR? APR? Yeah. On stake tokens? We don't. So we already talked with you guys about moving away from Cosmos and going to a different blockchain, whether it's Solana or whatever. At the moment, Solana looks very attractive to us. So we have been behind the curtains now, but in the back end, we have been looking into planning it out, looking into how would we approach it, how do we approach Solana and stuff like that. So up until then, till to this point, we will not drop the is it not APY? APR? No, anyways, APR for the staked token. So it will continue as it is right now, and it will stay like that until we move to a different blockchain. 14. Just do 14.
I've created a new copy and I'm trying to now mark the old ones off, but I'll come back to that. 14. Have we engaged in commercial conversations with customers? Yes. Have they shared feedback or requirements? Yes. For our products to continue those conversations? Yes. I'll give a bit more detail, which is, as I said earlier, with the data platform in particular, we have pilots that are already on it. We have more pilots, customers coming in this week and next week, as well as people lined up for the advertising campaigns as well. So the pilot customers for advertising will be onboarded next week. So we've had commercial conversations with customers. They are using our tool. They're giving us great feedback, and it's all positive. And it's providing them what they want. Their feedback is enhancing the product. So, for example, one of the consistent feedbacks that we've had from the data product is actually being able to utilize some of our AI services as well. So actually in the data portal, you not only have access to the index, you've also got access to AI services, such as the Wilson Ask and Answer endpoint. You have image AI detection, AI content detection, some of those things that we're opening up to as part of that data offering as an extension. And that's all come back from feedback that we've had from customers that we're piloting with at the moment.
Sounds good. Question 15, I can take that. So would providing paid usage from single company create more confidence than launching multiple technical modules? Would closing one paid pilot to be more strategically valuable right now than expanding node functionality? So we are not expanding node functionality. We basically when we look at data so data API or the agentic APIs, data and advertisement, that was always is and was our core product. So when we started Timpi, search was still a thing, the main thing. Now it has moved and shifted a little bit more into agentic and more into automated searches, which actually plays into our hands. Because now the search aggregators have a huge problem because they are not, they lose usership because more and more searches are just done via an AI call. And an aggregator can show someone else's AI at the moment. We are in a unique position that we not only have our own index, our own data source, our own correlation for domains, news, POIs, enhanced wiki entries, and so on and so on. But we also have an AI network that allows us to provide large language model services or conversational services to those customers or to our users. And that's on both sides. It's the end user on the browser side, on the extension side, and the SERP page, but it's also for the data users. We can provide AI services that goes way beyond a normal data provider would be capable of. And there will be some more news. I can't resist. There will be some more news soon. Gareth will hate me. I'm not saying more. Otherwise, I will be probably kicked out of the meeting.
Only because of the conversation we had before this, and I was like, don't mention it.
Of course I do. There's a big one coming. But anyways, so yes, so it does make sense for us to provide all these services. First of all, to our standing is wider. And we have always been and will always be at the front end of the market, and we adjust ourselves with our products to meet the market requirements. And that's at the moment, and that's why some might say we have pivoted from search away and to data, but we haven't really pivoted, but we focused more on data because that's where the market is going. So, but search is still a very important part because it allows us to get a user feedback loop to actually serve unbiased, unmanipulated data to the end user as well. And it's a very important part for us, and it will always be a very important part for us. But data is now, from a company point of view, from a revenue point of view, data will overtake search. No doubt about that.
And I think, just to reiterate, really, is that doesn't leave search alone. Search plays a key part in that because when we bring in the agentic piece, then the data and the agentic search really go hand in hand, right? And so, and that's the way the industry and the market is moving. And so, we feel that really with this latest release, we probably for the first time actually getting ahead of the market. And I think it's worth noting that when we first started this journey, the product that we said we were going to build at that scope 3 years ago, it would not be relevant in today's market.
No.
Right? Since we started this journey, the market's moved so fast, particularly with the AI coming in, and now with what's happening with the agentic traffic, the agentic web, just keeping up and reshaping what we're going to build has been a huge
undertaking
mountain for us to climb.
Yes.
Yeah, because as soon as we build something, the market's changed again. I think I mentioned in our last AMA about the Google CEO was talking about how they don't plan a year ahead anymore. They can't in terms of what they're building in technology because they don't know where it's going. Right. Now we do know that the market's moving into agentic, and that's what this latest release is all about. Really, then combining the search and the data, and advertising for agentic advertising. That's all hinges all those 3 products in the release that you'll see at the beginning of August.
Yep.
Yeah. difficult to not take a sidetrack on that one, but
I know I
that's a
could
good
talk.
question. I don't even know what the
ages.
original question was. Was that 15? Was it?
That was 15. Yes. 17. Outstanding.
Yeah.
What is the plan for marketing?
Yeah, marketing. Is there a plan for Q4 25? This question, I'm sure we've answered this question many times. I'll answer it.
But I think
answer it again.
We move it to Q4 26 and Q1 27. Let's do that.
Yeah. Or it's probably going to be a continuous outstanding question. So yes, absolutely. We have a plan for marketing. We have a go-to-market plan for the advertising and the data and the search. We haven't initiated it yet because we need to have the products in place. So we've done bits and pieces in marketing along the way. Primarily, that was trying to grow our community, but marketing isn't going to get traction until we've got the products out. So we're getting the products out, and then we'll initiate the marketing.
Yeah, and that feeds into the next question. I can take that over as well. When will there be real marketing? And as the question already answers it, it takes serious budget. And to get serious budget, we actually need to get the products out. We need to get customers on the products. And as Gary said, we have a few products to be released in 1st of August, official release. That's advertisement, which will give us a huge impact on that because the advertisement also supports agentic. So that's another one which is very interesting, a very interesting combination. And the data side where we already have pilots on there, and the secret one, which I'm not allowed to talk about. Question 19.
And I think that's important. Sorry, just to add on to what you were saying. So the key thing that we need now is revenue. And so, yes, we've released a search, that's a product. And you think, well, why aren't we pushing search? Because we do have a product out. Why aren't we marketing that? We don't have the revenue stream attached to that, the search. And that is the ad network that's going live at the end of the month. And so the key priority for us is to get the revenue driving products out into the market. And that is key for sustaining us. Okay. So we have reduced the team this year. So we've reduced our expenses significantly. We're able to keep carrying on, right? And but the key thing is that we do need revenue, right? Even if we get a very small amount of revenue, that's going to have a significant impact, which we will get from next month. And so all our focus is on getting the products out, the revenue generating products out, which is the data and the ads. And so we can start bringing in that revenue. And then that is a game changer for us.
And also to finish that off is also the SERP page. We took the feedback from the users from our internal quality testing. We got a huge thanks to Milton around search quality testing and what he did. And we took that on board, and with the new workflows that we have in the back end now, that allows us really to deliver meaningful results, have really now the POIs, the maps, the news, and so on, all built in one, and a proper Wilson response. That makes the package more attractive, especially with the extension. And we do believe that the extension is for us the entry point into the user base, into the wider user base, because it's always hard to get users moving from one page to the other page. But if you have an extension that runs just in parallel in your browser, and Gareth has been testing it for a while now, when it runs as a side panel, and you can do parallel searches, you can do ask Wilson questions and stuff like that. It's really something that you use way more often, and that's why we developed the extension as well.
If there's one thing that anyone can do for us is download the extension and just run it with your daily searches. So if you're using Timpi as your core search engine, fantastic. If you don't, and you're using Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo or Yahoo, whoever uses that these days, It actually came up once as in a obscure browser that I downloaded the other week, and it was defaulted to Yahoo. It was absolutely
Odd.
terrible. Oh, it was
Yeah.
terrible. But I can't even believe it's still around. Anyway, regardless of what search engine you use, if you've got the Timpi extension, then you'll get side-by-side results. But also any website or web page you visit, you'll get additional information about that site, all the results from the page. It's really useful, genuinely useful tool, and it helps us because wherever you are searching or navigating around the web, that's one search for us. And that's one of the key things that we want to grow at the moment, which is our searches.
Yeah, there's one caveat right now. Until the 1st of August, there will be some service interruptions, some stuff going on because we are, moving around the back end, introducing new workflows and stuff like that. So the extension might or Wilson might fail. There is, stuff in the background going on that will have an effect on the SERP as well as the extension. So that will all be sorted out by 1st of August. But up until then, you might see some degraded services that are not there yet or that are not there at that point and will come back later or whatever. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is basically who's Martin? You've already seen him in a few videos that we've done. I think he's actually done the explainer video when you enter the search as well. So you've seen Martin around. You might be wondering what he does. He's our marketing manager. Now, as I said earlier, at the moment, there's we have everything planned out. We have all the go-to-market plans, and so until we actually initiate that, he's not got too much to do because we have everything ready. We have everything planned. So in the moment, he's managing the socials. He's there for us to manage anything that comes through, and he's actually been integral in helping us develop some of the product as well. But yeah, Martin is marketing manager, and you will see more of him and more of his work come to fruition once the products are launched, as I said earlier.
Yeah, and that goes into 21, which is, should marketing wait until the product is ready? Yes. It's the short answer, basically. Yeah, works quite well.
Sure, we answered these last time.
No, I think so, but anyways, let's go through them. What about 22? Are there plans to use launchpads such as Sidify or polls to promote node sales? Currently, we have enough nodes. And I think we want to put the nodes to use and to full use before we reach out to other node holders. We need to work on our revenue strategy so the nodes are paid well. And all this comes together. So at the moment, we don't look into doing another node sale or anything like that. We want to make sure that the node runners that we have receiving the rewards.
Correct. Yeah. We've no need to. We've never been one to needlessly run node sales. We've always just released what we need, and we do have capacity at the moment, which we're not filling. That's gonna, in saying that, with the release of the products, particularly around the data products, then that demand is going to increase significantly, particularly with the Synaptrons. Yeah,
the Synaptrons will probably increase quite quickly, yes. Which is good.
No plan.
So at the moment, no plans, and we do have enough capacity right now. When it comes to Guardians, we started filling up the Guardians, starting filling up more Guardians. So that's now on the go as well. And yeah, Synaptrons and collectors and so on. So at the moment, no. Okay.
Will the marketing strategy involve influencers or partnerships or to expand exposure? Yes, absolutely. We already have these lined up with influencers that we've been working with over the last 2 years, plus additional influencers, and as well as partnerships. We've got strong partnerships, including the ones that are trialing and what's the word I'm looking for? Piloting our services right now, and they will be part of co-marketing as we launch the products. Yeah, not sure what much more to say about that.
Yeah, no, sounds good. How will marketing push be timed with milestones such as search beta release? Can you answer that?
I was reading what you wrote in the chat. What question?
So, okay. Question 24.
I can't read and listen at the same time.
You can't. Okay.
How will marketing pushes be timed with milestones such as search beta release? I think the question is, will marketing pushes be timed with product releases? Yes. This is what I've been talking about. So yeah. Kind of feel I'm answering the same question over and over here.
Yeah. So outstanding go-to-market. I think we already answered 25. What is the strategy to approach customers? Gareth mentioned small to medium companies as the target segment. Are we planning to approach big players like Mozilla or DuckDuckGo early to build a share of mind and get feedback? Yeah. Do you want to say something to it?
We will when we're ready. Being new to the market isn't the time to be approaching the big guys, but we will. Right, we need to establish ourselves first.
Um, 27. Would it accelerate the company to identify one narrowly defined customer segment and optimize everything around serving them for the next 60 days? I mean, we already do that with the ad service, which we have a wide scope, but also fill a very niche market need. The same with the data, and especially with the data enrichment and stuff like that. So yeah, I think we do that already. It's not for a 60 days period anyways, but we are starting off with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's effectively what we're doing with the piloting.
If the only goal for the next 40 to 60 days were securing paying customers, what parts of the roadmap would be paused? Well, we have. You want to, or I should?
Well, simply, I was going to say that is what we're doing. Our focus is on pushing out the revenue generating products, which is the ads and the data. Yeah.
When we talk about what products have we paused or what parts of the roadmap will be paused, I think at the moment we have not spent a lot of time on the Templars side, to give you an example. So that ecosystem is at the moment not a focus of us because we are concentrating on the products that bring us paying customers. It will be picked up, that's for sure, but it's one of the ones that that are sort of paused.
Yeah. And there are a few other bits and pieces, but we can't always work. Well, you can't always be efficient in your working. We are incredibly efficient. We work long hours, but if you're blocked on something, then maybe you look at some of these other things that aren't priority, but you can make small progress on it.
Yeah. 32. Okay. I have a good. No. Do you want to answer it?
Yeah.
I will spoil the beans, so probably not.
So soon after the release of the data to the public, as I say, data platform's already there, it's already live, but you'll be able to go and, but you can go and you can't browse it unless you're signed up. You will be able to sign up from 1st of August, and that means you'll be able to actually go in and utilize the product. As I said earlier, a core part of that data product is the AI extensions. And the AI extensions is going to significantly grow and become part of that data product. And that means that we are going to need, and we are going to have, and we already have strong demand for Synaptrons. And so we don't want to lose that in our infrastructure. And so because we know that there's going to be strong demand coming very quickly, we're happy to keep them running because we're going to need them.
Yep.
And you'll realize why maybe on our next AMA. Probably on our next AMA.
Very likely on our next AMA. Very likely. Yeah. Yeah, no, it will be on our next AMA. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So, yep, please keep them running, even though the NTMPI price is not reflecting your cost right now. But this price, and this is no financial advice, obviously, but this price will increase just because of the fact that we have the services out there, other services are coming, and also the move to a different blockchain in combination with the services are now released will certainly have an impact on the price.
Yeah, we can't say it'll increase, but I think it's fair to say that, yeah, I think it's fair to say that with the utility and the functionality that's coming in with the products, that is going to generate more demand.
Yeah. Yeah.
The token, for sure. Well done, Master Blaster. You're our Master Snaptron Blaster.
Okay. How will Timpi balance the long build time with maintaining token confidence for node operators? And I think that was I mean, if we look back the last 3 years, that was really building a lot. I think we are now entering the phase where we don't have to build anymore because we release. And that release will really bring the token confidence and the node runners confidence back to where it was and where it should be. That's for sure. So we have been talking about these services for a while, and it's not because we are lazy that these services haven't been published yet. It's really a big piece of work, bringing it all together. And as Gareth said, Timpi has changed. The market has changed a lot. Timpi had to change a lot, and that just takes time. It's just the way it is. But I think we are now ahead of the game with what we offer. We are already fully into the agentic, which others will maybe follow at some point, and that gives us a market advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right, where are we?
36.
Chain and
How much
strategy and bridging,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So how much effort in man hours and cost would it take to move to another chain? Which chain would be a good choice? I think we discussed that already, but it's basically we are looking into Solana, for example. I think it's a strong candidate. Especially on Solana, it's not a big effort because Solana has libraries that allow us to to generate the tokens and to do what we need to do with a standardized contract, you can say. So you don't need to have a contract, you don't need to go through the contract audit part and stuff like that. So that makes life a lot easier and a lot cheaper. That's as well. Solana is a large ecosystem that is growing faster than most other chains. It's not the biggest chain or not the biggest ecosystem, but one of the faster growing ones. So that makes it very attractive. And as I said, the cost and the man hours is relatively low. We have already started putting plans in place to see, okay, how do we approach it? How do we move? How do we deal with NFTs, with the tokens, with the staked tokens, and so on and so on. So that will come. But
yeah, Solana certainly makes it a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
To move, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's 37 is, I think, already answered. That's already there.
And I think also these two questions really also show that the need to actually move.
Yeah.
Not only has the market moved in terms of search and data and AI, the market's moved in terms of the blockchain as well, and it's a very different space today from where it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. So the maintenance, if I go to 38, the maintenance of Nutaro, the chain will run, will continue to run. It has to continue to run because we have token holders that might not be actively in the community right now. So when we offer the user to move the tokens over to Solana. That's we will then obviously stop the trading and the bridging and have that on the in the Nutaro wallet. The tokens can then be swapped into the new token at any point in time for the foreseeable future. So there's not a cut date where we say you have 4 weeks, move it or lose it. That's not going to happen. You have, I don't know yet, years, basically. So that will still continue to run, and we can get users to move over to the new chain.
Question 39 and 40 are probably already answered, but let's just make it very clear. So 39 was, has the team considered bridging the token to other ETH chains? No, because we're going to move chains, and so we don't need to.
Same was 40.
40 is currently very complicated. Yes, bridging is complicated. That's one of the reasons why we're moving. Not only because it's complicated, but also there's been a series of can't think of the word, hacks, if you like, on the bridges that have caused us some significant security concerns as well in continuing to use it.
So the other questions are also around the current blockchain. So there are no plans right now to list NTMPI on any other exchanges or additional exchanges, DEX or SEX at the moment, just because we are moving blockchain. So there's no point in doing it right now. I think we can close off that topic. Correct?
Okay, will Timpi be listed on Coinbase? So actually, it's part of. I think these questions were all asked before we announced that we're moving chains.
Yeah, I think so.
But interesting that one's applicable because really after having the initial discussions with the community, the 2 chains that come out at the top were Solana and Base, and obviously, if we did take the Base route, then there's opportunities around Coinbase.
Coinbase, yep.
So that's interesting.
Let's see.
Are there plans to add DEX other than MEXC?
No.
Well, as you know, we actually moved off of MEXC in preparation for the actual chain move anyway. So
yeah, that question is done.
All right.
What is 49? Markov.
Is Markov chaining used in beta search processing? I'll answer the next question while you look up Markov chaining.
Yeah, I heard about Markov chaining. Yeah.
Question. Well, I'll let you do some research. I'm going to answer the next one, unless I need you to answer the next one. Probably do.
Yeah. A mathematical model that describes sequences of possible events where the probability of each event depends only on the current state, not the sequence of events that preceded it.
You sounded like a mad scientist then.
Yeah, I know.
It's really good.
I have read about Markov in the past because the question, I saw that somewhere on Discord. So basically, yes, through large language models and machine learning. So through workflows, we do that now. So that's basically coming up with a change on the 1st of August, where I explained a few things about how we now approach search and search quality. And I think I can say, yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Next one's for you as well.
Why is the TAP network upgrade taken 2 weeks? Upgrades normally tested separately with the transition to main hours and days. 2 weeks would be, yes, that's true. That was, I think, the last large TAP update. So it's done. It's will not happen again in this matter. So we now learned our lesson. We now have on Discord, we have a group. We have a group of users that help us to test nodes. or anything that we basically publish. So if it's, for example, a collector, the test group will run the collector first. If it's now Synaptron, we have a new Synaptron coming up very soon. And this Synaptron is actively tested, and we are getting feedback, or I'm getting feedback from the users who testing is in terms of functionality, but also usability. I got, thank you, Milton. Got good feedback on how to make it a little bit easier for the user to understand how Synaptron works, because it's quite a big change. Or it's not a, yeah, it's a change. So I'm working through this parts to adjust and make it a little bit easier before we can release the Synaptron. But the Synaptron node itself has been online for the better part of a week now. Some of the test users have joined over the weekend, and it's stable. It's exactly doing what it's supposed to do. The only thing that I need to adjust is the installation process and helping the user to make it more seamless and easier. So that's one of the things that we, after the last tab network upgrade, which did take too long, that we introduced a test group of users who test all nodes before they get published. You probably haven't noticed any updates in the last couple of weeks, even though we have pushed a lot of updates to the network, but you haven't noticed that because that was tested and then applied, and no one was basically needed to do anything. So we are constantly updating. Jono Olofs, thank you. Jono Olofs is constantly updating coordinators and so on, and the network even doesn't notice that. So that's our improvement that we have done. Good. 51.
I can take the next one.
Yep.
Could the search index be reduced to a minimum viable data set and API that a customer would pay for? If so, what would it look like? It could be. I think, again, this question is quite old from where we are. We've moved past needing to do that. Essentially, the API available to customers through the data platform comes in two forms. It's a limited API, which gives you restricts you on the number of data points that you can get back. It's 6 data points, and it's rate limited. There's an upscaled API that you can access, which gives you access to 51 data points, and they're all that's all in place, ready to go, being piloted as we speak.
Yep.
What I will say is, I think since we first released the data platform, which is kind of in line with this question, is that we've adding those additional like upscaled data sets, if you like, with the intel and the news and the point of interest. So I guess those are the small structured data sets for different use cases. But we're going to continue to build on that in building out through the use of AI, upscaled and maintained data sets for specific use cases that will be available through the data platform.
Yep. Perfect. I will take 53. When will we get a proper blockchain explorer? We have a proper blockchain explorer, which is timpi.se or SE. It's basically from Jono Olofs, and it's online. You can run your look into transactions and governance and validators and stuff like that. So that's online. I think that's also an older question. So if we go,
I kind of like answering questions that have been set there for a while, because shows that we've actually answered and effectively done implemented solution to a lot of these.
Yeah. So outstanding is 57. What partnerships and ecosystem integrations are most critical for scaling options? I think we talked about that, but Gareth, if you want to take that.
Yes. So the partnerships that we're developing at the moment are within the data sovereignty area, such as the Electronic Frontier Foundation. We have other societies and groups that we're members of. Digital Directory is another one. I can't remember all their names. That's important for us to be able to tap into the community and the people who care about data freedom, data sovereignty, unmanipulated information, data security, privacy. So we're building partners around that side. We're also building partnerships around the AI and data scaling side of things. One of those partners is the AI Labs, and they're playing a critical part in helping us build our products and build our customer base as well. So really, they're coming from two areas, which is the data sovereignty side of things and data and AI side. Yeah,
cool. Yep. Not answered. 61. Could be a weekly project progress report be introduced. I think we take the AMAs as an opportunity to do so, which is on a monthly basis. In addition to communications on Discord, for example, when we have announcements. I think that has served quite well in the last couple of months. So yeah, I think that will be fine.
Yeah, we've got a good cadence of setting these AMAs, and I think they're working very well. We will be releasing other updates, as Jörg said, as and when they come. I've done a couple of fireside chats with Martin, so there'll be bits and pieces, but certainly we're committing to AMAs monthly.
Yep. I like the question 64. How will Timpi achieve mainstream recognition the way Google displaced Yahoo? So the people say Timpi it. Honestly, I don't think that we are in the market today where that will happen anytime soon. It's just because the entire internet, everyone, the big guys are moving into agentic. So you won't even see, and Google noticed or mentioned that when the CEO was talking, that they will remove search results entirely and will only respond with AI. We won't do that. That's for sure. So that's not going to happen. There are several reasons why it's not going to happen. When you remove the search results entirely and you only rely on AI, we do know how that will end, because Google's business model is still and will always be advertisement revenue. So they are relying on advertisement revenue. So if they can't do advertisement because you have a large language model in front of it, you can't do advertisement. What you need to do is basically prioritizing your ad partners or your partners in your AI response. So if it's about, I need a flight from A to B, they will basically use the partner who pays the most to book the flight. They will not use the partner who is cheapest. That's for sure. There's no other way. And similarly is also, you will as a user completely lose the overview of small pages that do not rank in Google at all. This content will be completely lost. And that's a very dangerous part, because we are creating with this new area or era of internet, we are creating huge echo chambers where the user doesn't even have the ability to look right or left, because there is no right or left anymore. And that's also a very good opportunity for us, because we keep showing search results as it should be. We do have Wilson. Wilson does the same as everyone else does, in the difference that we are not prioritizing paying partners because we don't have that. We do have advertisement, obviously, but it's completely different. However, even we have Wilson, we will always show search results. You will always have the ability to go and run a search and see the search results for yourself, and see the ones that maybe rank lower because they are not that big or whatever it is. And I think the direction that the large search engines take right now, and that's the biggest challenge that we have, it is even more dangerous than it was 3 years ago. When Google and Bing moves to an agentic AI response only, you are relying 100% on the AI. You will believe the AI, what the AI tells you is, and that's something that investigations already have shown. People trust AI. people believe what AI is telling them. So that means when Google AI tells you the only flight you can get is there, or the only, I mean, it wouldn't do it that obvious, but the only party you should vote for is this one. People will believe that. We create very dangerous echo chambers that are way larger than they are already, and that's really the danger on that. So I love this development because it plays 100% into us. It's really great. It's better and more now than it was 3 years ago. It's different, but better for us.
I think that's very well said, and I think it might be worth just having this as our last question, because I think what you've just said is very poignant and a good note to end on. It's interesting because, as I said earlier, we've had to adapt and change with the market. And we said we're in a very different place we are now, and it's a very different product from where we started. We've had to adapt, but that doesn't mean that the mission has changed. The mission to be able to serve unmanipulated information is even greater, as you said, than it was. So it's interesting how we've had to adapt, but actually it's going to come full circle when users don't have an option to see unmanipulated information. They're just going to get force-fed what the big guys want them to see.
Yeah, and we have seen that in the past with Google and with others, that they're manipulating the masses for their benefit. And that might be just product, that might be opinions, that might, whatever it is. And if it's now really AI driven and you only see an AI response, they can tell the AI what the AI is supposed to tell them. And there is not a lot you can do about it. And that's our huge benefit. Again, I'm coming always back to the index. Because we have our index, we have our own data source. Because we have our index, we know about the small guys. And I know at the moment, if you search for a small guy, yes, you might not find them. And this process will, at 1st of August, will also change that you can propose us domains. So if you don't find your domain, tell us, and it will be crawled, and we will have it in our index. And Wilson will draw its information from this index and other sources that we have. We don't have one index, and that's maybe one of the misconceptions. It's not one large index. We have several different indexes that serve several different purposes. And combining all of these into Wilson, I just did it today. I created the flow that actually allows Wilson to get directly into our index, learn from our index, and respond from the results out of the indexes that we have. And that becomes more and more important because Wilson is not steered to a certain direction. Our index is not steered to a certain direction. I need to tell this one story. I did a test with Wilson, so plugging it into our index, plugging it into our news database, and so on. And the query was Donald Trump. And then Wilson told me, yes, there are a few news articles and some user communities, and one of them was fuck Donald Trump, for example. Really, it wrote fuck Donald Trump because one of the entries that it found was fuck Donald Trump. We are not, shying away from publishing that because that's the internet, that's the community, that's the people, what they are thinking. And I think it is more important today to also allow other opinions to be heard, and not only yes, it's all great, or yes, we do it right, or whatever. So I think we become more and more important for a lot of people, and we have the own index, we have the own data, we have our own AI network. And you will see soon we can even compete with the large language models out there today with our Synaptron network because we built something that allows us to do that.
Perfect. You know what? I think that's a perfect ending to this AMA. So I think we should leave it there. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for your continued support. We look forward to the next one, which will be in about 4 weeks' time. There'll be lots of updates and lots of things to take you through.
Great. Thank you, guys. Have a nice night, day, whatever.
See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye.